Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
This is Tuesday, February the 3rd.
Woo!
We are 3 days from my 50th 50 birthday. Woo! Oh my gosh. So
are you ready?
I am ready. Okay, I wasn't ready. And not because God hadn't been good, but just because I felt like I should be further along. And so I'm sure we've all felt that. 50 is such a, oh, yeah. So what it snowed, it did not snow. It snowed and it did not snow on Saturday. And so my partner was like, well, let's go ahead and take care of your birthday dinner. And so we went out to Stony River, which was phenomenally fabulous. And then from there, we walked around the mall, and from there we went over to Perfect Note. We had an excellent time. This young lady did covers of Tina Marie, and the whole night just felt good. The vibe was awesome. Like, it was so amazing. And for me, I just felt like the universe was like, we got you. Like, it is you ain't got to have everything planned out. You ain't got to have everything in place. Like, you can just show up and like wonderfulness will happen. Because that's really what happened on Saturday night. We just kind of showed up and wonderfulness happened. Like, you can have wonderful. So I say that to everybody who was feeling like I was. Not that you're not thankful to be getting older and grateful to still be here, but that just kind of a third, I would say, feeling of offness that I'm supposed to be further along and a little worried about the future. What if I don't get it together? And so, because if I ain't got it together by now, who's going to guarantee I'm going to get it together over the next 15 years? 15 to 17 years. And so, I just want to encourage everybody that there is a grander plan at work. And so be easy about it. Be easy about it. So we are doing great things. So I'm Natalie Elliott, and this is Sharice B, and this is the Together podcast. And we're so happy to have you guys with us today. It is just amazing. And so I'm so excited about the topic for today, because really the topic came in kind of one way, but really today is Sharice's topic. We're going to talk about from one woman show to CEO. And so we hadn't actually talked about it in a while, but this is Sharice's thing about how to get you from that one woman show to CEO. And I really think this is a timely message. So I'm going to like shut up and just receive from you today, Sharice, because I find myself struggling between what do I need to delegate? How do I get it delegated? What do I need to do to myself? What do I need to learn to do versus what do I need to just hire out to do? And so I've been just struggling with that lately. Like, I started to do something, then I was like, wait a minute, I don't need to be doing this. I should have delegated this. And I've done that a couple of 2-3 times. And so I think for me in my life, perfectly right now where I am, I need that message again. How do I not be a one-woman show? How do I make sure I'm operating as CEO so that I can get all the things done? You cannot get all the things done as a one-woman show. No. But you can run the world as a CEO. You can run the world, you can run the company. You can run multiple companies as a CEO. You can run countries as a CEO, but not as a one-woman show. And so understanding that and being able to take that step back to get out of the trenches, to just pay attention to the numbers and move stuff around. But I got to say it's hard because my first instinct is, oh, let me get this done. Not, oh, how can I get somebody to do this? So anyway, I'm excited about our topics for today. And I'm just going to, I'm literally taking notes. I really literally got to get this in because I don't want this holding me back. Like, I don't want to waste 5 hours doing a project that somebody else could have did in 30 minutes, and I just needed to pay them the money.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
Okay, great,
I'm
great.
ready.
Beautiful topic today. This is something that absolutely I can speak to because, having been an entrepreneur, solopreneur, um, CEO of a salon, managing salons over the
Mm-hmm.
years, moving into my image consulting company. I'm super familiar with the whole solopreneur. And then also dealing with contractors who you
Mm.
are overseeing, right?
Right.
So that I think was my first venture of understanding, the whole CEO-ship. Like, oh, okay. So my mentor, when I went through my entrepreneurship training, I guess back in 2003, four, something like that, around the time I let me see, we were opening up, yeah, so around two, three, or four, something like that. So the first thing I started learning about was becoming a CEO. I had to study, what a CEO really was. And a CEO is not a worker bee.
Mm-mm.
A
Mm-mm.
CEO is not a someone who is trying to do everything. They have the mindset to delegate and realize that certain tasks just are no longer mine. But let me
Right.
be realistic about this entrepreneurship, real entrepreneurship of a small business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you are not expanding into employees
Mm-hmm.
or many contractors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, realistically, you are going to be wearing these many hats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is what it is until you expand further. You may have been a solopreneur forever, but in order to adopt a CEO mindset of
Yeah.
a business owner. And be clear, CEOs are not always the business owners. But
Yeah.
remember, we are the employee, we
Mm-hmm.
are the accountant, we
Mm-hmm.
are the janitor, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we are the marketer, we are all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
as you grow and expand, you have no choice but to identity shift
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
delegating and expanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're going to outgrow yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you are going to burn out and
Mm-hmm.
crash
Mm-hmm.
if not,
Mm-hmm. I,
right?
I I I think sometimes it's hard for us to admit when we're the bottleneck. Like the
Mhm.
reason that that didn't get done is
Yeah.
because I didn't do it. I never sat down to do it, or I couldn't get do it. But I think that's when I think that's when you got to be humble and honest with yourself and say, okay, something's got to give, something's got to change. If I am now the bottleneck, I'm the only reason that we're not growing. Me, because I can't do it, because I can't do it all, because I can't figure out how to get it done. I think that's the main indicator that you got to switch into CEO mindset.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not doing this project and it's been sitting on my desk for 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, it's sitting on my project and on my desk and it's not done, I should have
Mhm.
delegated it. And I think
Yeah.
maybe would you say that's a rule of thumb for maybe people they need to have? If you got a project that's sitting on your desk more than 2 weeks that you can't get to, then it should have been delegated. Uh,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
absolutely. But
Okay.
have you set that in place? Who would you
Mm,
delegate it to?
yeah.
So before that, you have to name, who,
Right.
when, and where,
Yeah.
right? And is it something that no one else can touch? Because this is a big thing too. It's
Mm,
something that no one else can touch until you do your part.
yeah.
That would be my big bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you do this for me? Okay, yeah, great. So this is what I need from you in order to
Mm-hmm.
get this done for you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the biggest lessons for me that I had to really adopt is, okay, so who are these people that can help me on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
right? And who are the people that I know can get it done and will get it done consistently for me, who will step up to
Right.
the plate and execute for me. Okay, better yet, who are the people that truly understand my weaknesses and will be um they will be motivated and they will
That part.
be proactive for me and with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I know where my weaknesses are, but if I have the team members on my team that say, hey, you're not going to do this. So here are the bullet points. I need you to get 1, 2, 3 done. If you get this done, then we can move forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are things because I know one of the things that weighed on me early on because probably you too and a lot of us early beginning entrepreneurs, everyone thinks that you have it together because you have your own business.
Ah, yeah.
Two things. They think you're rich and they think you got it together.
How about that part? How about that
Um,
part? No, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I didn't realize that though at first. I didn't realize why so many people were coming to me for my help.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even in a space of knowing how to charge for
Mhm.
help. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's just a conversation. Oh, girl, yeah, I'll tell you how to do that. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
coaching and mentoring. Just coaching and mentoring away, not
Yeah.
even realizing my value and that I could be charging for this,
Yeah.
right? Or
Mm-hmm.
that I am
Mm-hmm.
building a community.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about creative and entrepreneurial CEOs, two of the number one things that you should be doing is um, building revenue and community.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me, as creative CEOs, because when you have beauty business, therapy
Mm.
business, fitness business, real estate.
Yeah.
That's pretty creative. And let me talk about how creative it is when you didn't go get a college degree.
Yeah.
What you're literally when you have become an entrepreneur, you are creating something out of nothing. Come on. You are creating something out of nothing, right? It's open. Oh gosh, hold on, my door is not open.
Okay. Well, while you do that, I'll talk about that how people see you when you're an entrepreneur and how I just remember when I got my first office together. Um, one of my friends was like, "Oh my God, like look at you! How did you do all of this?" I was talking about when I had my first office together, and one of my friends was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, how did you do this?" And da 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 da. And she had this look like I had like was a rich or something that I had put everything together, and I was like, "Girl, my cell phone was off for 2 days because I was trying to get this furniture paid for." Like I was like astounded. Like you've been with me, you've seen me struggling. You knew you remember. I said, "Don't worry about calling me for the next like the it's go back." And it was, and so it's just so interesting to be like how people are with you. They see the struggle. They know your cell phone
yeah,
was off 2, 3 days,
yeah,
and they still be like, "Oh, girl, you got it together. And can I borrow $1,000? What is going on?"
yeah.
I
That's
don't know
just
how
not
you
how they
see it,
see
what you
you.
see it. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying to we all
yeah,
we over here putting it together. We trying to sew it together stitch by stitch. Like and
exactly.
so it's just people have such an idea, such
Yeah,
ideas. And
yeah,
so yes, okay, so back to what you were saying is people have these ideas of you. And you on the inside are still trying to figure it out as an entrepreneur and how to
yeah.
charge right and get the money flowing right and consistently and all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really contradicting to you, when you are calling yourself trying to be a CEO, but
Hmm.
I'm still running everything myself, so
Yeah.
you're not really meeting that new identity, right? You are still your old self
Right.
in so many ways, because you haven't expanded. But I watched so many of my friends, really build real businesses and bring on employees and bring on teams and grow,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this can be done. It can truly be done. Can you do it?
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yes, you can. You just got to do it. You got to
Yeah.
see yourself that way. But
Yeah.
it's absolutely that identity shift, right?
Yeah.
If you don't take that identity
Yeah.
shift, the boldness and the audacity, you're not going to get
Mhm.
there. You'll
I, I,
stay
I
in that
will
space.
say with that identity shift, because I've seen a number of people who grew into that and then they shrunk back from it.
Hmm. Oh,
Because
yeah.
with that identity shift, and I think it's that old saying, to whom much is given, much is required. And I have
Hmm.
felt that too, of like, oh shoot, now these people's livelihood is based on me and what I do. These people paychecks literally is based on me remembering to run payroll on the
Yeah.
right day,
Yeah.
at the right time, before the
Yeah.
cutoff. And so I know I have felt that wanting to shrink back from that, like,
Mhm.
and so I think part of the mind shift is embracing that. So I know for a while I don't know, I think I got this off of YouTube somewhere, but I can't remember who. So I apologize if I'm not giving the person their credit, but it was just a simple statement. I accept the mantle of leadership in my life.
Mhm.
I accept the mantle of leadership that's placed on my life, and just sitting in that. And then I think also coming up behind that, are kind of the mindset that also supported that is, I'm just a servant serving in a greater way. And so what does that mean and what does that look like? Being a servant and operating in servant leadership made it a little bit easier for me, but it took a mindset. And then there are still some days I'm like, I don't know if I want to be responsible for all of these people's paychecks and whether their kids eat or not. Like, that's a lot. And so, I can't even remember to get everything I meant to get when I go to the grocery store. And so,
Mhm.
it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And yet, you guys, you're called to it. You're called to it. So, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, based on what you're saying, Sharice, number one is mindset shift. Is making that mindset shift.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say
Absolutely.
number two is?
Well, accepting the call. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, got
you
you.
gonna do it or not? You gonna
Right.
become it or not?
Yep.
Like I can only speak from my experiences. And, I was behind the chair for so long. And yes, I ran the salon, but I was an owner
Mm-hmm.
operator, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I had to study the whole CEO ship, and listen, still becoming and still studying on
Yes.
a whole other level, right?
Say
Because
that.
now that we are building these online businesses, that's a whole different
Whole
shift
different
and
mindset. Whole
mindset.
different shift in how you got to show up and what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I'd like to speak to the OGs, the OG entrepreneurs, how we learned. I was just talking to my friend about this last night. Like, we learned business elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, in
Mm-hmm.
face
Mm-hmm.
communication, networking events in your face. And now that we have shifted into this online space, it is super different for our
Okay.
generation. I have
All right. We lost Sharice, but I can definitely step in on that. That it is different. My first business was a therapy practice, sex therapy in particular, and it did feel very brick and mortar, and it did feel very networking and getting out there. And now trying to build maritalpreneurs online is a completely different skill set. And so, whereas before I just needed to have business cards and get out there and talk to people to bring the first practice, building entrepreneurs is causing me to be consistently posting on social media and talking to my people in a different way. And so it is feeling very different, and I'm having to learn a lot to make sure I do it well, and do it consistently. I can't say I started doing any of that yet. So, okay, Sharice, you're back.
Yeah, my bad.
It's
battery on
okay.
this computer. So, yeah, so I was speaking to the OG entrepreneurs and just remembering where you came from. Like we built business in the trenches, right? And we did build business by knowing people, person to person, face to face, getting out, networking, and building relationships. Those relationships are the most important
Mm-hmm.
to me
Yeah.
because even over time, honestly, the things that I'm in need of now, I
Mm-hmm.
can I can go back to relationships from 30 plus years ago and say, "Hey, remember we had this conversation? I'm in position now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so where are you in business?
Yeah.
What can I do? How can I serve you? People who helped me
Right.
back then,
Right.
people who I help, and just operating in that integrity. And
Yeah.
that's something we'll speak on next. But just building relationships, everlasting relationships is everything
It
because
is.
people are always evolving,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one of my friends, I watched, well, a husband of my friend, I watched become a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And that has been such a great example when I listen to his and her talks, her being the wife of a CEO, climbing the ladder, when he was the marketing director, right? And then now you're the
Mm-hmm.
CEO of a second, Fortune 500. And just watching those examples and then taking just some minuscule things to
Mm-hmm.
my small business, and
Yeah.
you know it's two of the topics. It's integrity and discipline.
Mm.
We'll go into the integrity. you know be who you say you are and become more.
Ooh.
you
All
know
right. Be who you say you are and become more. I like that. I'm gonna use that. Okay.
yeah, yeah, that is where I'm living. That's the space I'm living now. Like, be who you say you are. Do what you say you're gonna do.
Gotcha.
you know uh because I have been the biggest betrayer of myself, right? By
Ooh.
not doing the things, by not following through and doing the things that I say I'm going
Right.
to do for myself,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So, you know, and then that is everything. That's across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be that in every area of your life,
Wow.
right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way. It's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way you'll keep relationships, that you'll need down the road,
Yeah.
right?
And I want to say so much about keeping your word and integrity and showing up. And
Mm-hmm.
so lately, one of the conversations I've been having with my people is don't let what somebody else do with their character affect what you do with your character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we like to say, I'm a match energy. I'm a match energy. Wait a minute. Okay. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. No, no, no. I do get sometimes you do need to match energy. Sometimes, though, you need to be the standard barrier, the
Oh yeah.
standard bearer. Sorry, the standard bearer
Mm.
of this is how we do.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they do, this is what I do because this is my character. This is how my company runs. This is how we function.
Yeah.
We don't
Mm-hmm.
get ugly with our clients because our client got ugly with us. That's not how we function. We don't match
Mm-hmm.
energy like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just want you guys to be careful with that because it's all, oh, I match energy. I match energy. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. We set the standard for what
Yeah.
needs to happen. We
Yeah.
set the standard for what needs to happen in the organization. But I'm gonna say, I want you to set the standard for what needs to happen in your industry,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
can do that. So, okay, I digress. But
Yeah.
I've been on that lately. That oh, he match energy. Wait a minute, no, no, we don't do what everybody else does. If
Yeah.
their character is messed up, we don't allow our character to get messed up in retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
still
CEOs
operate in
don't match
integrity.
energy.
Yeah, we say that. We set the tone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, now that
Absolutely.
look, I got to write down my own words on that. We don't match energy. We set tone.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
CEOs definitely don't match energy because you got to stay on the throne and run the business. You can't
Say
be
that.
emotional, and I would say one of the biggest lessons that I am truly adopting
Mm-hmm.
across the board now is the discipline that it takes,
Okay.
right? I watch my successful friends and I'm like, oh, they're disciplined. And I have levels of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can be, at the salon at 4 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah.
3:45, 3:30 a.m. on time.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been disciplined in that way. I've always been disciplined about working out, the way I eat, but the one thing that was missing from me is I'm still looking at like, wow, well, your food isn't disciplined, and you have these other areas that's not disciplined, but you know where my
Mm-hmm.
successful friends are really disciplined
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and showing up for themselves,
Ooh, I like that.
right? Fully, fully. When it's time to get to that money, they are disciplined enough to sit down and focus and
Mhm.
lock in on what needs to be done.
All right.
And go
So,
ahead.
well, I'm gonna recap it. Then I want you to go deeper on that. All right.
Mm,
So, in becoming from one woman show to CEO, we had number one is mindset. Number
mm,
two is accepting the call, and a part of that accepting the call is learning all you need to learn.
mhm,
Accepting the call by learning all you need to learn. And then
mhm.
number three was be who you say you are and become more. And I really love that become more. And then right now, number four is show up for yourself fully and lock in. So, what does that mean? Like, what am I doing if I'm showing up for myself fully? And let's say, how do I show up for myself fully when I'm not disciplined?
Show up for yourself fully. As in, set a schedule that
Okay.
hurts. You know, you may not want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, three
Ooh,
o'clock,
ooh.
5 o'clock
Right.
in the morning.
Right.
And it is what you have to do. You have to set the discipline. You have to set the clock. You have to, if you got to put the clothes next to the bed, if you have to jump up, set the
Mm-hmm.
alarm, jump up and go to walk out the house,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
wake yourself up,
Mm-hmm.
shower, to wake
Mm-hmm.
yourself up, whatever it takes to
Yep.
discipline yourself, do what hurts to get yourself disciplined. Time isn't the issue for me. Waking up early, staying up late isn't the issue for me. It's sitting down, cutting off the phone, no distractions.
Yeah.
I'm talking about cut the phone all the way off, because these text messages still come through. You put it on do not disturb, you know things are still coming through. I'm too easily distracted.
Right.
I
Right.
know me. I know
Mm-hmm.
me. My thoughts just distract me. I'll get
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the conversation, I'll get up and go to the kitchen.
Girl, me too.
And I had to ask myself, how many times have you been to that refrigerator? Are you hungry for real? Are you?
Even know it. Like I'm having an out of body experience. It's like I wake up and I'm in the kitchen. I thought you were
Mhm.
sitting down working. How we get to the kitchen? What's
How you
going
get to the kitchen? Yeah. Yeah, how you get to the kitchen. So I literally have to treat myself like a child,
on? Mm-hmm.
to discipline myself. And it's funny because my friends they have caught on, because see, everyone, when they think you have it together because you're running around busy all the time, making money, doing your thing, making connections or whatever,
Yeah.
they think you have it together.
Yeah.
But I was trying to tell them like, I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with sitting down and focusing and getting done what I need to get done for me to get
Mm-hmm.
to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So I've had to watch them. And it's
Yeah.
the discipline, the discipline, the discipline. My friend Stephanie, we was just trying to figure out, like, what is it? What is it? What is it? She's like, oh, I know how to discipline myself. At the end of the
Ooh.
day, I know how to discipline myself. And
Mm.
then I said, let me ask a couple of others or even watch. And it is literally the discipline in the areas that seem to be the hardest for you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need to discipline myself when it comes to waking up early in the morning, working
Right.
out, food. That's not my space.
Right. And I think that goes back to knowing yourself and just accepting you are who you are. And so and
Mm-hmm.
stop trying to fight against it. So for
Yeah.
me, I don't work well at home. That focus time, I
Mm-hmm.
don't do well at home because I wind up I, I ain't washed clothes for 2 weeks, but now that it's time for me to focus, now it's time for me to wash clothes. The
Yeah.
dish has been sitting there for a whole 24 hours, but now it's time for me to focus. Now I can't focus because I got to get the dishes washed. And
Yeah.
so it does not work for me to work at home. That focus time, if I just need to bang a project out, it
Yeah.
doesn't. I have to get up, and I don't know why this is, but I work best at Einstein Bagels on Hammond Drive, which is like a good 30-40 minutes from my house. But
Yeah.
something about there and the combination of the people and the noise and the music that work for me, and I can get in a good zone. And I
Yeah.
keep trying to tell myself that I should be able to do it better, differently. I should be able to do it closer to home. I should be able to do it, and that's just not the truth. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think for me and for others, accepting what you know to be true about yourself. If you have identified that you work well in this one area, just go there and do the work. Just go
Yeah.
there and get, because the work has to get done. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you know that you can't get that discipline in any other way, then just get it done. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, ain't nobody gonna care how you got it done. Is it done or is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah.
it done. And so when you say do what hurt, and the thing is, the first time you say do what hurts, I was like, oh, that ain't what she said. I was like, I misheard that. So when you said it again, do what hurts, it's like, God dog it. Okay, if that's what's gonna take, that's what I gotta do. That's what it's gonna take, that's what I gotta do. And I want
Yeah.
to applaud everybody because I know in some areas that's real easy for you to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And the magic is probably in that area that's hard for you to get done. The sit
Mm-hmm.
down, the planning, the being quiet. And I
Yeah.
think that's another thing that makes it hard for people to switch from one woman show to CEO. Because one woman show is about doing, 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 doing. Let me just get this done, get this done, get this done, and get it done, and get her done.
Mm-hmm.
CEO is about let me sit down and strategize.
Mm-hmm.
Let me sit down and think. Let me think. Let me process. Let me come up with a plan. Let's do planning. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's so hard to sit down and do that planning when there's so many things that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it's almost like that old saying where a stitch in, what is it? A stitch in nine saves time or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be misquoting that, but the idea that if you can take that time and sit down and plan, that's how you get everything done, as opposed to just getting up and doing the stuff. And so it's so hard for us to do that when we're making that transition, but it has to be done. Or you're gonna be stuck being the one woman show and never grow.
Yeah. Well, especially when you validate yourself in doing, doing, doing. I'm such a hard
Mm,
worker and,
girl, preach
I
again.
got to do this, my self-control, just
Mm-hmm.
perfection, all that stuff. And I think a lot of people validate themselves in being a doer, making sure I look like I'm busy, even if it's subconsciously, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you
Yep.
just, that's just, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's in our DNA, to
Yep.
be doers and to prove that,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a doer and I work hard, you know?
Working hard is the baby boomer way, and a lot of us were raised by baby boomers. We go to work,
Absolutely.
we work hard. That's how we get validated.
Yeah.
That's what we were rewarded for growing up was the hard work. Well, did you work hard? Okay, good.
Yeah, that's how
And
they
so to have
thrive.
a switch in mindset of okay, but how far did you get? Where you like,
Hmm.
but what did your thinking? How much more were you able to be productive and reach your goal, or was it just busy work and figuring that out? So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So, number one is mind shift. Number two is accepting the call, and you accept the call by learning all you can. Number three was being who you say you are and becoming more. I love that. I think that might need to be the name of your next book. Um, Number four was show up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the hard part of that was do what hurts, do what hurts. All right, what would you say number five is from going from a one woman show to CEO?
Well, we talked about discipline. Discipline was
Hmm.
important.
Okay, so this would be disciplined. Okay, I'm gonna put that as number five.
Yeah, but that is number five.
Okay.
I think five is good, but let's just bring it all together. So I think if really get aligned with that belief system,
Mm.
truly believing in yourself, because I think we have belief issues. That worthiness, that am I enough, right?
Yeah.
Like that is big space for me right now. Like, no, believe in yourself and go do what you say you're gonna do, because the only reason you're not doing it is because there is some non-belief there, right?
Mhm.
And why when you've come this far, why wouldn't you go the rest of the way? But I'll speak to that personally. We do so much, we overdo so much by not knowing better. We burn ourselves out, and we get overwhelmed and just, out of sorts.
Mhm.
So that's why you have to do the resets. You have to do the inner work. You have to do the resets so you
Yeah.
can get back to who you really are, so
Yeah.
you can become who you want to be, you know? So that belief system
Yeah.
is the key to everything. And everything that we just talked about is the key to the belief system,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Got to believe in yourself on a whole nother level
Yep. 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 Yep.
in order to show up and do the work.
This is
Next
what
level
this,
work.
this is what I have noticed with myself is when I'm trying to believe something new that I don't know what I want to say. I want to say it ain't easy.
Hmm.
And you have to consistently do that work, whatever that work looks like for you. So usually for me, it's adding a new affirmation or prayer to kind of like my morning time meditation. And
Hmm.
I've noticed that though if I can like start believing a new belief,
Hmm.
then I can use that one to pivot to the next level belief.
Hmm.
And so, but sometimes it's hard to make a jump. But if I can start saying it like a new affirmation in my meditation, let's just say let me say, let me just pick a number. So I might need to say is, I believe I can make $10 this year. I believe I can make $10 this year. I believe I can make $10 this year. What I've noticed about myself is after I've said that for a while and I've gotten to that belief, then now I can say, okay, now I believe I can make $100 this year. I believe that I can do it. And so some of you guys are excellent and will be able to like just jump. Some of you guys will have to step yourself. Either way, you got to do the work. Wherever you start is where you start, but you've got to do the work in the changing those beliefs. You
Yeah.
know, and a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. And so you can control your thoughts. And so whether you need to do like I do and read and write something, do you do like Sharice? Sharice, you still listen to your what every night when you go to sleep, you listen to your
My,
affirmations.
yeah, my
And
subliminal.
so I want you to I
What's
want you guys actively thinking about how do I get these new thoughts in my head? How do I keep putting these new thoughts in my head? What do I have to do to get these new thoughts in my head consistently? And because the bigger thing is when you get those thoughts in your head repeatedly enough that the thought becomes the belief, and then that gives you the energy for things to happen. And so
Mm-hmm.
you got to do that work. I
Mm-hmm.
will say I think sometimes the work is so easy, like, oh, I just got to think this thought. I just need to put it on my mirror and say it every day. The work is so easy, we fall off from doing it, you know. And
Yeah,
so
human habits.
yep. So you got to get into this is wax on, wax off. Whether I feel like I'm building a muscle, I am. I might not feel like this work is doing anything for me, and I
Mm-hmm.
still got to do it every day.
Yeah.
So, okay, what else you want to say on that?
That's about it. I think people need to focus on that belief system,
Yeah,
when it comes to any and everything, whatever you're building.
yeah,
You want your next career, your next job, your next venture, whatever it is,
yeah.
work on that belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to
Mm-hmm.
the drawing board. For me, it's repetition. I keep it pretty simple. I don't
Yeah,
care how much I believe in something, I stay
you got to.
telling myself,
Yeah, yeah,
listening to,
yes,
what I need to listen to repetitiously. I'm going to always do it.
yeah. Oh,
Period.
I love that.
I'm not going to get, achieve something and then stop. No way.
Mm.
I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
keep doing the thing, the
Mm-hmm.
repetitious things that I need to do until I keep getting what I want. And then I'm going to keep doing it,
Oh, I love it. I
over and
love
over
that.
and over.
I love that because there's so many people who they like kind of arrive, not even all the way, but kind of arrive. So they
Mhm.
stop doing the things, and then they wonder why they're not growing anymore, why they can't get to the next level. Well, you're
Yeah.
not doing everything you used to do. Remember when you were scrapping and
Hmm.
everything you did? Okay,
Yeah.
you doing any of those anymore? Let's make a
Yeah.
checklist. Let's go back. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Last thought.
Yes. That's it. Belief. Work on your belief.
Yeah,
Work on your belief. Keep it simple.
yeah.
You don't believe? I always tell people, borrow my belief. Tap
I
in.
love it.
Tap
I love
in.
it.
I believe enough
Yeah.
for us all.
Mhm.
And most of the times I believe in you a little more than I believe in myself. So
Yeah.
me believing in you help me
Yeah.
believe in me and vice versa.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I'm gonna echo exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have follow because I have fallen off on one of my meditations. And so I
Mm-hmm.
need to get that back on and back together. And it's so easy. The only thing I had to do is hit play at 5 a.m. I just been sleeping. All right, so I'm gonna get back on that. And everybody else, what is the thought that you need to keep thinking daily? And how do you want to do that? Do you want to write them out every morning, like just a simple list of 10 affirmations, 10 goals? Do you want to write it out? Do you want to record your voice and listen to it in the shower every morning? And that's what you do? Do you want to listen to it as you go to sleep? Do you want to sing it in a song to yourself? But how do you want to get this belief, thought repeated daily so it becomes a part of you? So it's so ingrained in you that you
Mm-hmm.
can't deny it and nobody else will be able to deny it either. So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful place to end. All right,
But your
fabulous
word.
people. All right,
All
here we
right.
go. Let us remind you. Hold on. We got to remind. First of all, if y'all listening to us, like us on YouTube and all of the things, subscribe, do all the things you know you're supposed to do to support us. All right. Two, we are having an in-person event on April the 4th. We're going to be talking about branding with intent, inside and out. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited about this. I was just randomly having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they was like, "Oh, you need to be saying that more often." Okay, bet. I'm putting that in the branding seminar we got coming up on
Mm-hmm.
April the 4th. And
Yeah.
so we'll be there. The price is $97. Q will make sure it's in the link on our various pages. Q, make sure you send that to Sharice somehow, some way. So phone, text, or something that y'all have that. So go and sign up for that. We are only limiting this. Sharice, I hadn't told you this. We're only limiting this to 30 people
Mm-hmm.
because I want it to be small. I want it to be intimate. I want us to just be able to really lock in on these women and
Mm-hmm.
really give them time. And so I think that's the right amount so that we can like focus. Because I
Yeah.
want everybody walking out of there feeling like they got more than what they paid for, feeling like, oh my God, I have so much clarity. I know what my next steps are. Like, I want people walked out of there feeling changed. Like
Mm-hmm.
this, they transformed me and transformed my business. Like I got answers. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're so excited about that. So, branding with intent, inside and out. Sharice and I, we're going to spend a day with you guys, 6+ hours on April the 4th. So mark your calendars, go ahead and sign up on Eventbrite, and we look forward to seeing you guys there. So, okay. All right. Now,
Yeah.
everybody, y'all have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
Audio Jungle.